So you are back here at For Life, and today we're going to discuss soy. Those viewers that haven't seen your previous interview, if you can just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi again. I'm Nga, I'm mother of Oliver and Soy. Oliver is 4.5 years old, and Soy is now 2.5 years old. We came back to Vietnam like 2 years ago, so I put Oliver and Soy at For Life for quite a while now.
Yeah, it has been a long time.
Yes.
We were chatting the other day about when Soy arrived here. Soy was 10 months when he started here.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Before moving back to Vietnam, we live in the US, and children go to school quite at the young age in the US, like 6 months. Oliver came to school from 6 months old. So we wanted to do the same for Soy, so that he can get like social skills and he can get like a group activity environment. We talked to the principal here, and I want Soy to go to class with his brother. Actually, we want them to be together. They can protect each other. And then at that time, luckily for us, the principal's youngest daughter was at the same age as Soy. So Soy was like the first infant student at For Life, and they Soy and the principal daughter formed the first infant class at For Life. And one of the good things that I remember from that time is that we practiced Montessori at home. So it got independence sleeping and playing. And For Life was very accommodating to us at that time. They let us bring the crib, the baby crib, to school, and so he can sleep in his crib like at home. And he slept there independently, and he ate well. School let Soy eat in his own way, like using his fingers, and it's toddler food, not like baby food.
How did you feel when you brought Soy? And bringing a baby, did you have any trust issues? Did you have any concerns with that, with him being so young? Not being vocal or being able to, communicate and that sort of thing. What were your concerns when you brought him here?
My main concern at that time is that normally in Vietnamese kindergarten, they do not really practice Montessori at infant age. They do not let the children sleep on their own. They do not really confidence with baby-led weaning, and that's my concern, because I don't want Soy like routine is I don't want Soy's routine interrupted. So I wanted to have a smooth transition between school and home.
I have 2 children. I can see again with Izzy how eager she is in her development, how eager she is because of that mixed, that vertical grouping, because of these mixed age groups and being around children that are older than her and, different abilities. You can see how eager she is to learn to walk, how eager she is to learn to speak, just even in the way that she shows her interests. When I think about when my son was that age, their interests are slightly, obviously it's a boy and it's a girl, so they will have different interests. But you can kind of generalize on, what a baby should be interested in and what they shouldn't be interested in. Her interests are very different compared to her brother when her brother was that age. So I certainly see the benefits of the vertical grouping. How did you find that for Soy?
I guess Soy was similar to Izzy in that sense, that he looked, he watched, and he copied. And Soy in my opinion, so it was very, like his development speed was much faster than Oliver.
Yeah.
Because Oliver was a COVID baby.
Yeah.
He was born during COVID. He grew up in the
In
US.
isolation.
Yes.
Yes.
So he just copied me and my and his me, Ja, his daddy and teacher at school. But at school is the school was isolated into group as well.
Yeah.
They, even though it's mixed age, but the range of the age is like 1.5 to 3. Instead,
Yes.
at For Life, we have the mixed age group, but also all students or children play together,
Yes.
from infant to toddler, then
Yeah.
and then a preschooler
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So so it was very fast. So it is developing fast as well in terms of language, in terms of patience to do activities as well.
Tell me a little bit about, about the language acquisition for Soi. So he has been here since he was 10 months.
Yeah.
So in terms of his language development, were you nervous about that? Were you nervous about, how was he going to adapt with Vietnamese and English? Were you nervous about, did you have a preference that you wanted him to be speaking?
In terms of language, I do not really have preference, but I like both my children speak both Vietnamese and English fluently.
Yeah.
Not really prefer one
Yes.
over the other. For Oliver, because he grew up in the US, he prefer English. But we kind of force him, or actually encourage him, to use Vietnamese at home.
Yes.
So he speak both. But for Soi, he started speaking here, and he chose Vietnamese first.
Yes.
And
yes.
in the beginning, I was a bit worried that he might not develop enough English to adapt later when we move back to the US. But recently, in the last 6 months, he showed his interest in English as well. He started to use English, and the point I really love it here. He started speaking English in the whole sentence.
Yes, full
Not
sentences, yeah.
Not
yeah.
like single words.
Yes.
And he
yes.
does not really mix
Yeah, he
the
doesn't
both
mix
language.
it.
No.
Okay.
He can speak a whole sentence in Vietnamese and then a whole sentence in English, not mixing words like some
Yes.
Vietnamese word with some English words.
Okay.
And I think it's a good sign. And
Yeah.
he intentionally choose a language when he asks us to read books for him, even whether it's a Japanese book or Vietnamese or English book, he would choose the language and ask me to do it. And sometimes I try, like I trick him, like
Yes.
choose another language, and he said, no, not that. I want Vietnamese, or I want English.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
great. And tell me a little bit about your experiences with the other schools in the US compared to here.
Oliver went to Montessori school in the US, and I think they have quite a similar setup to For Life. They have different groups in different classrooms, and it's a mixed age group. But one of the big difference is that in For Life, children have more outdoor time. And second, they have common dining room. So in other school, not the one in the US, but other school that my children went to, children eat in the same classroom.
Yes.
They eat, they play, they sleep in the same classroom. They do not have chance to play with children from other groups.
Yes.
So
yes.
I think that's a plus point for life.
Yeah.
And also because they eat in a dining room, the young children copy the older children.
Yeah.
In terms of table manners, in time of eating skills. And
Yeah.
I think it's really
Yeah.
good. one thing that For Life is very similar to the school in the US is that they encourage the communication between parents and school. They want to have a smooth transition every day between school and home. Like school is another home, and then home is also a place that children can learn as well.
Yeah. So, have you ever heard about the triad in Montessori?
Yeah.
So, basically what that is you have the environment, you have the child, and you have the teacher. So, in Montessori philosophy, we talk about following the child. And how we do that is by utilizing this triad. So, your environment has to be set up for those children. Yeah. So, you will look at the child, you'll look at their developmental needs. And when I talk about developmental needs, I'm not just talking about IQ. I'm talking about EQ as well. We are talking about social skills. We are talking about emotional needs, Something in my experience is that often these needs are overlooked. And before you can teach a child anything, you need to understand what their needs are and fulfill those needs before you are doing anything else, because if those needs are not met, often they are labeled as something else. Yeah. You're going to label the child as naughty or as, meek or something that they are not.
Yes.
They have a need that needs to be fulfilled. Yeah. So the importance of this triad is that you have to have a observing guide. Okay, so in Montessori, we don't necessarily call them teachers because they do way more. They are doing so much more than just teaching. In a traditional classroom, you have a teacher who will stand up and they will present the same lesson to everyone, and that's that. Yeah. Whether the children get it, whether they don't get it, what does it matter? You got through that lesson, you're following a curriculum, and that's all that matters, In Montessori, this is why I say a guide, you are doing way more than that. There are individual lesson plans. You are moving around the classroom, You are doing one-on-one lessons, group lessons, In my classroom, I will have one group doing one activity. I have another group doing something else. They are moving around. And when they are working, I will show them a material and they will work with that material in one way. And then when I have seen that they have mastered that, I'm going to show them something different about that material that they haven't discovered yet. I'm interested to hear how you have seen things change from when we were at the old premises versus where we are now. Yeah.
At that time, Soi and Oliver went to the old For Life. In that place, we did not really have a garden. We did not have much outdoor space. And the outdoor space were basically the sidewalk.
Yes, I remember.
Yes. And even though the sidewalk was quite wide, but it's still,
I do remember,
a bit dangerous, and we were worried about that.
I used to worry about it.
And the facilities do not have much less. The swimming pool is not really utilized, so we decided to leave school and move to Singapore with the hope that children can have more outdoor time, because at the old For Life, especially during rainy season, they did not really have much chance to play outdoor. And I love outdoor time.
Yeah.
But then it's similar to Singapore. They have facilities, they have garden, but they did not utilize it.
Yeah.
And then we went back to visit For Life, the new For Life, and now we have a big outdoor space. We have like 3 lots of land. And then Oliver and Sồi, they love the garden here. They love all the animals. They love the trees and the playground. So we decided now we need to move back to Vietnam just so that Oliver and Sồi can attend For Life.
Yeah, that's beautiful though. That's really beautiful that you came back for this, for this experience. I feel, in Montessori, we want to have a nice flow of an indoor-outdoor environment. It's very important. Children regulate when they are outside. It's difficult to settle a child when there is no space to move, when there's no freedom of movement. And again, there needs to be risky play in a sense that they need to challenge their bodies. They need to feel their bodies move in different ways. When you are stuck inside a classroom environment and you are not utilizing the outside, you will have difficulty. Children need to engage their core. You can't expect them to sit still if their cores are not engaged. They have to move. And really what I love about this, the premises here, is that indoor-outdoor environment. I love that there's the freedom of taking a lesson outside. For myself personally, when you are outside, it's not just about observing the children playing. You can see their interests. You can see how there are certain children that will gravitate towards the fish, and they are so intrigued about this underwater life and this whole world that's underwater, and they can sit and stare at the pond, for the entire outdoor time. And then again with the animals, you can see personalities, how they interact with animals. Things that you wouldn't be able to see in a child when you are just sitting in a classroom environment the whole day. So for myself personally, I really, really love that. I love that we can be walking outside, and like I was saying to you earlier, that we have tadpoles now. And now we can go back, even though they know the life cycle of the frog. But how exciting to learn it again with the real, experience right outside. And, they will run through the gate and it's, have they grown legs? And everybody's down and looking, has any of them got legs? And it's really, it makes your day so much more interesting. If I had to take the garden and everything and the animals and everything away, and it would be so monotonous, it would be so repetitive, it would be, and if I'm finding it boring, I can assure you they're finding it boring. So I love that. I love that about the premises here. How do you feel about the sand and the animals? Tell me about that.
I feel like we can find all kinds of animals here. Like we have fish, tadpole, frogs, rabbits, like chicken, pigeons, geese. And sometimes some other family invited us to go on a play date to some farm, and Sồi and Oliver would reply, "Nah, we got all those animals at For Life." And that kind of reaction. And one thing I love about the outdoor space at For Life is natural. It's real sand, it's real trees, it's real grass. And Oliver and Sồi can walk bare feet on that. And nobody here really complains about them playing with dirt or they not wearing shoes. They are fine with it. So that makes Oliver and Sồi happy, and we're happy as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know it's proven that they have a far healthier immune system
Yes.
if they are actually outside and playing with natural dirt.
Yes.
You know, so that I do love as well. I love that they can see the chickens lay eggs, that they can count the eggs, that they can see, you know, these ones are hatching earlier than other ones. You know, that again, like I said, that even though they know the life cycles, they are seeing it on a regular basis. It's natural for them, you know, and I feel that that's how it should be. You know, that's exactly how it should be with them.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you coming through and, you know, discussing everything with us again today. I hope that it's been, you know, interesting and you know, you've gained some kind of knowledge or anything from it.
It's good for me to hear your perspective as well.
Okay. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.